Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, the guy who experiments while learning. I need Norton 360 to access the internet. Watching a human buffer. Can you hook up the copy machine somewhere near me? Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. The guy who experiments while learning. Definitely before my IT days, I was doing a theater course, and I helped in the office, Windows 3.1 days. We only had one PC, no backups except a few files on floppies. Hey, we were all young and dumb once. But the PC was shared. Cast, me, aspiring actor, still do amateur dramatics, and already the guy to call about the PC Napalm, a friend, and somehow he remained a friend, that for apparent reasons we shall call Napalm. The Mac, course tutor, good with Amiga computers, used in sound industry programs back then, but not skilled with PCs. One day, having to do something, 25 plus years ago, no idea what, I arrived at the PC. To find the vast majority of the files missing. Now, in truth, we had been running low on disk space, so had managed to upgrade from DOS 5 to DOS 6.22, which had double space, or was it drive space, to get some more space that we needed. But before using it, I wanted to read a bit about it first, as I didn't know what to do. Napalm did not share my cautious approach, and had double spaced the drive successfully. But the disk had already been partitioned into two. He managed to delete all the files on the second partition. Permanently no internet to download software and no cache either, leave the space wasted without a partition, and just double space the rest. This is how I found the PC when I arrived. I called him over for a quick word. Now, at the time that this happened, I did not know him well. And I was not a pro tech person yet, having not known until later that day that hard disks could be partitioned. We all learn one day. I thought that he may have taken the D:/, at the time having assumed that it was a second physical drive. Also, Napalm, who was an expert at destroying a wide range of things, he once helped construct a set that none of the actors was willing to stand on, had tools at the theater to open the case, which I did not. So, with me observing his tools, took the cover off the tower. Nothing apparent, and the dust make it clear no second drive had been taken, so we went to put it together again. Somehow, Napalm found a live wire to earth itself against the case, blowing power to the theater. And wiping the music that the Mac had been doing at his Amiga in the other office. The Mac came into our office, somewhat vexed, to find Napalm repeating endlessly, "I don't know what happened, it's not my fault," and me in the corner with a fit of hysterical laughter, having really understood the Napalm effect for the first time. Never did get the files back, but thankfully the theater had a qualified electrician to hide the live wire that, to this day, I don't know where Napalm found. I need Norton 360 to access the internet. So had an interesting call the other day. One of our remote sales staff calls me saying that he'd like permission to install Norton 360 on his company laptop. I tell him I can't allow him to install his personally purchased AV software, as we already have AV software on the laptop that would conflict in company policy, etc., etc. Should be the end of the discussion, right? Of course not, but this response certainly caught me off guard. Salesperson: okay, but I really need Norton 360 on the laptop to be able to work. I've been having all kinds of issues. Me: well, you haven't reached out to me or submitted a ticket. Salesperson: I can't even get online with my work laptop. I need the VPN in my Norton 360 subscription to access the internet. Me: I wait, what? If you can't connect to your network at home, a VPN isn't going to solve anything. Salesperson: well, everything else is connected and it has the VPN software on it. Me: that doesn't mean the VPN is the solution. I can tell you for a fact that if your laptop isn't connecting to your network, a VPN can't help you. Salesperson: well, I need the VPN for other reasons too. Me: like what? Salesperson, some really bad people are after me and have hacked my network. That's why I'm having all these issues. That's why I need the VPN. I even have 2 ISPs in my house because Google Fiber is supposed to be more secure. Me. So bad people were smart enough to hack both of your networks and block a single one of your computers from connecting to the internet, but they are seemingly unable to do anything to block your other internal network devices because of your Norton 360 VPN? Salesperson, yeah, Norton 360 seems to fix the issue. Me, Norton isn't a magic wand, and it doesn't make your computers invisible. If these bad people are inside your network, they can see all the devices and their local IP addresses. It would take no time at all to disable network access to all your devices, or even just brick your routers. It is considerably more likely that something else is going on, and I'd be happy to troubleshoot that with you so we can get you back up and running. Salesperson, so you won't let me install Norton 360? Me, nope. Now can you tell me more about your setup so I can provide some initial things for you to check? Salesperson, no, that's okay, I know it won't fix anything. I'll just use my personal laptop. Me, okay then. I'll note that on my end. Anything else I can help you with? Salesperson, actually yeah, my phone has been dropping calls a lot lately. We use a cloud-based phone system. So I log in to check his analytics. Me, so it looks like you are using the mobile app, totally fine, but a lot of your calls are originating from other countries. Are you using a VPN when you are making calls? Salesperson, yup. Me, well, trying to route a VoIP call over a VPN tunnel to halfway across the globe is going to cause significant latency that can cause your bad call quality and dropped calls, and I'm seeing that in the logs. I'd recommend not using the VPN while making calls. Salesperson, but then I can't access my internet. Me, have you even tried not using the VPN? Salesperson, no, because it's been working, and I need the VPN to protect myself from the people who are out to get me. Me, well, if you are unwilling to let me troubleshoot your connectivity issues, then I can't fix your first issue, and if you won't disable your VPN on your phone, I can't fix your second issue. Also, I'll be sending a message to your manager detailing your issues and your refusal to troubleshoot them. If you change your mind, please reach out to me. Salesperson, okay, that sounds good. Click. I updated the ticket I created and sent an email to their manager detailing the conversation as a CYA. I've had some weird interactions, but this one definitely earned a place near the top. Watching a human buffer. I work as a student assistant at a university, where I attend the third and last year of computer engineering. I work as a helper in the second-year networking class, helping students to follow labs and set up services like simple web/mail servers. The students throughout the semester are to complete a set of labs that prepare them for 2 projects. One small project to prepare them for their second and more extensive project, which is their exam. The labs consists of a walkthrough part first, making the students set up the given service that the lab entails, followed up by questions. These questions would be anything from describe how this works, to change the configuration of what you have just set up to achieve this result. As the labs gets more advanced, one could still follow them to a T, to complete the initial setup, but the questions would eventually get more to the point of having to Google how to do certain things. As these are second-year students, one would expect at least a rather basic IT comprehension at this point, and they should be familiar with basic Linux commands and terminal usage. Some students in their year obviously aren't where their progression in their degree suggests. I have been a helper in other previous classes too, like Intro to Linux and Object-Oriented Programming, so I know to a certain degree which are the stronger and weaker students of the bunch. Of the lesser end of the bunch are a few that stand a bit out. Like this one. The lab environment is in CentOS 7, which uses systemd, so the accompanying commands are used. M equals me and ST equals student. ST had a habit of sitting at the lab computer and waiting until I made eye contact, where they would then raise their hand to ask a question. They would only try a command once, and then figure they are either stuck, or progress the lab not caring about the fact that a service isn't running, and then getting more stuck later. Meanwhile, sitting and staring at their screen, they would not make any effort to reading the lab instructions again or Googling the errors that might be appearing. I would always find this a bit fascinating, as the first interaction between us, every single time I got up to ST, would be something along the lines of, what seems to be the problem? As I look at the terminal window to see if I can immediately identify the problem. ST, well, I changed this asterisk in the config file, and tried the restart command, and it won't start. Asterisk points to the lab instructions, where one could input exactly what it says into the config file, and the service would work. Okay, have you looked at the status, which it says right there asterisk? Asterisk points to the terminal output telling the user what troubleshooting steps they could do on their own. This is where the now famous, among the student assistants, buffer comes along. Anytime me or the other helper would get to this stage of the conversation, it would be like watching literal gears grinding in their head as they were trying to kickstart their thought process to figure out what to do next. The answer would always be no, I haven't looked at that, no, I haven't Googled that, no, I haven't tried to follow the lab's instructions again. But before every single one of these types of responses, I would, in awe, watch as this person spent a total of 5 to 10 seconds sit in complete silence, trying to figure out what to do with the words that just came hurtling in their direction. Oftentimes the questions ST had would be of the kind that could be solved by going back into the config file and double-checking syntax, or seeing what systemd would output to logs. But time and time again ST would insist on sitting in silence, until making eye contact. For me to then have to watch as my request for a command or a Google search churned away in their head, and them figuring out, or being told, their simple mistake. Yet every single time ST got stuck, I would have to walk over to them, ask them if they Googled it, or ran the command that is currently being displayed in their terminal. Only to watch them sit for an eventual alarming amount of time in silence, processing what I had just said. It could be something as simple as, now, please write journal till XN, and let's see what the output is. Proceeds to wait 5 seconds for them to process. ST, what command do you mean? The one that is being displayed right there, that we have used before to check what's wrong. Getting a bit frustrated at this point as we are several labs in, and has used the same command multiple times before, even a couple today already. ST, wait for another 5 to 10 seconds, and then proceeds to type in the command. Okay, we can see there is an error in that file. So could you please cat that for me? For about 5 to 10 seconds, star. ST, what do you mean cat, what file? The cat command we have used several times before to check the contents of a specific file. I'm talking about the file being marked as having errors, and the logs we are currently looking at points to the file being marked with errors. You know the drill at this point. ST writes the command, sees the content of the file. At which point I would either point out a syntax error, or I would let them figure it out on their own, and come back later when they inevitably haven't done anything to figure out their own mistake. This would be, and currently still is with their projects being worked on, be a reoccurring segment of my day. This has of course only gotten worse as the projects doesn't have any instructions, only a requirement for what needs to be set up, but it is completely based on everything the students should have learned in their labs already. Technically one could follow the walkthrough of each lab, replacing the contents of config files with the requirements of the projects, and be all set up. But this is not something that is easily understood by Saint. At times I have theorized that ST is actually a humanoid android that is built to learn about technology like a human. Only the processing unit the creators used is vastly underperforming for the use case. Whenever I help ST, still to this day I can't help but being a bit fascinated, and also get my tinfoil hat out. Can you hook up the copy machine somewhere near me? Literally just happened. A very nice person, but a less than ideal user, lol. This is via email, after I just finished helping her set up an Adobe Reader account. She's part of a newly acquired business that moved into our office, so we need to help integrate them into our building and such. User, thank you for the help. Another thing I forgot to talk to you about is our copy machine. Wondering if that can get hooked up somewhere, either where the offices are for us out in the shop or near me somewhere. Just like that with no punctuation. But I'm confused regardless because there is a perfectly whatever Xerox machine 15 feet from her. Me, I'm sorry I don't quite follow. Are you referring to the Xerox machine that's in your area there? User, not that one. I know they brought our copier over from our office unless they are using it for something else. Me, oh yes, the HP blah 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 machine, which is old, small and garbage. We haven't decided where that's going yet, if we're not just going to toss it out, but we weren't going to hook it up in that area because of lack of extra Ethernet ports in there. Is there any reason why you would want to use that one over the bigger, better, newer Xerox machine? User, someone's using it and has been for a while. Me, finally realizing that we had a technician out to service it. She wants me to hook up this big ancient dinosaur of a copier to somewhere near her, which is most definitely not conducive to the room at all, because we had a tech servicing the one in her area for the last 20 minutes. An hour before close on a Friday? There's literally another machine right down the hall that she can use. If you can't wait, go take the extra 2-minute walk out of your way. Like what? Am I the lazy one here for not hooking up a POS for her to use temporarily? I'm planning on waiting for the tech to finish before even responding.